Hey guys. Oh man, I need a seat. Excuse the mess. I am very sweaty. Just been working around the property, working in the garden, cutting the grass, string trimming, whatever. It's hard work, man. When you want things to look kind of nice and you're not trying to kill everything with chemicals and whatever, you know, it's a real battle to just keep everything trimmed down. I kind of just need to get this bed cleaned out because I got the sweet potatoes waiting. I mean, they're ready. You know, usually when you get about 3 or 4 leaves that have died back, they're as big.
Like onions where you wait for them to fall over.
Yeah, they're not quite like that. They're good. They're all really good size, but they're not like those onion-sized garlics I got last year. Oh, I got dirt in my eye. That wasn't smart. Let's try that again. Yeah, you know, you got some small ones in there. We got some big ones in there. It's a mix of a lot of different things. But you know what? I'm always happy with whatever I get. This is free. All this garlic. Free. I think this all started with like a couple of garlic cloves that sprouted one day, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to grow garlic. And that turned into a full fire ring of garlic that I basically just keep growing more garlic from some cloves that I saved from the year before, and I just keep cycling them. That's awesome. I don't think we've bought garlic in a while, which is always cool. And it's so easy to grow. I recommend, if you wanted to grow something, you're not going to get instant gratification. You seldom do with any kind of vegetables or herbs or anything that you grow, really, but this garlic and onions are especially dependent on your patience. But not a lot of attention. Patience, but not really a lot of attention, because at least where I am in Zone 7 here in North Carolina, we will plant these, you know, November-ish time in the fall, and they'll kind of grow to maybe about 6 inches or so, maybe a little bit more throughout the fall. When the winter hits, they kind of stop, and that's when the roots are developing, and they got that little bit of green top to just keep feeding the roots. When spring hits, they shoot up like this, and then you just kind of wait until, you know, around mid-May or so, and you've got garlic. That's it. I don't do a whole lot of special care with them. I just plant them straight into deep compost that I put inside of these fire rings. And that's the whole story. There really isn't a whole lot to it, which is great. And because it's compost, the worms find their way in there. They're constantly feeding. Sometimes I'll take some of the tops and bury it deep inside the compost, and you know, I'll give it a season, and if I go looking for them, they're gone. It's basically a perpetual supply of garlic. All right, let me put this down. Oh yeah, by the way, in that bed, I also got a bunch of onions too. And that's not even all the onions. And they're kind of small. They're not like the big grocery store size onions because I don't really feed them a whole lot. And I'm sure if I paid a little bit more attention to their needs, I might be able to get bigger bulbs if I spaced them out a little bit more and watered them just right. But I'll just plant extras, and if some of them come out just like little medium size, sort of baseball size instead of softball sized onions, that's fine. Most of these, actually all of these onions, I didn't even buy the seeds. I saved the seeds. Actually, here, let me show you. Can you see them right there? Every now and then when I start running a little bit low, I'll go ahead and save the seeds. Now, the one problem I will say with saving seeds, I would recommend that you only grow one variety, because the variety that I grow, they're not purple onions, they're not sweet white onions, they're sort of like a pink onion. Because I grew two types of onions and then I let them flower and they kind of cross pollinated, so I have my own open pollinated variety that is some hybrid of a sweet white onion and the red onions. So yeah, pink onions. What are you gonna do? They still taste good. We use them mostly in cooking. We haven't tried brining any of these, but we use it usually just cooking like a sweet white onion. I'm just cooling off, taking a break. The one nice thing about where I place the garden relative to the house is that in the afternoon, in the summer months, in the afternoon, there is a little bit of a shade that does cast over the garden, which I'm perfectly fine with, especially in the summer months when it gets really hot and it's just too hot to pick. You know, we're trying to pick green beans or we're trying to get some stuff out of the garden, pick blueberries, that kind of stuff. And the garden is just so hot that you can't be out here for more than just a couple minutes before you're just drenched. You got to go inside, get a cool drink, relax, come back out. It's too much. As the weather warms up, we tend to do a lot of our picking in the afternoon, in the late afternoon, before the sun goes down completely, but the sun does fall just behind the house and it casts just enough of a shadow to make it bearable out here. I pulled all of the garlic and the onion that was in this bed because I really need to prep this bed for sweet potatoes. Now, I wanted to get a little bit more compost because my soil level is dropping. It's been a few years since I've put compost into this, and it is dropping. And I don't typically put sort of the homemade compost into this particular bin, but the sweet potatoes are going to go into this bin soon. And yeah, other than that, I just wanted to show you that we're pulling out the garlic now. So if you have garlic in your gardens, definitely check on them now. They might be ready. And you might have heard, maybe I didn't say, but what you're really looking for, at least what I look for, is when about 3 to 4 leaves die back, or at least when you get about 3 dead leaves and then the 4th one is browning up. That's usually about the time that I like to pull them. Some people say even when the 1st or 2nd leaves start dying, you can pull them and get what's called fresh garlic. So they don't have any paper on them. Every single wrap of skin is edible and still moist. So none of the skins have really dried. I don't know if you can hear, there's a hawk just circling around. Some people really like fresh garlic. Some chefs really like fresh garlic. I've never really tried fresh garlic. I've always dried them. And then usually what we'll do is we'll mince them and put them in a little bit of olive oil. And then you can just scoop some into a pan. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, you know, obviously any kind of fresh cooking. Got dirt in my eye. All right, guys. Anyways, as you can tell, today's pretty chill. I'm trying to take it slow because I'm done. I'm exhausted. I actually went to the farm today. I didn't even record because I just had too much to do. So it's been a very busy day, a very busy weekend. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as I pick the garlic today. It's always good to hang out in the garden, and I hope you appreciate that. But as always, you guys be good. I'll see you on the next one. This has got to be my favorite time of year. I put these in the garage. I need to spread those out so that they dry better, but I put them in the garage, and you know, you close the garage at the end of the day, and oh man, it smells so good in here. I'll come out to the garage just to get a whiff. It smells like a gourmet kitchen.